Some members of Ugborodo community, in collaboration with the Palace of the Olu of Warri, have reiterated that the community was and is still under the lordship of the Olu of Warri Kingdom. Addressing newsmen a few days after the military reportedly invaded the community, some of the people say they are unhappy that peace has finally returned. They, however, accuse some members of their community who staged a protest a few days ago of misinforming the public.
These are rather troubling times for Ugborodo community in Delta State, South Nigeria, as the residents and traditional rulers disagree over allegiance matters.
For the purpose of repetition and emphasis, Ugborodo community is part and parcel. I emphasize these two words, part and parcel of Warri Kingdom under the ownership of the Olu of Warri.
It all started when a section of the community took to the streets to protest their perceived domination by the Olu of Warri. Disagreements over criminal activities such as oil bunkering, murder, and the military's recent efforts to quell the crisis remain a topic of concern for the people.
Enough for slavery in this 21st century. People are there in Warri giving people names. As you are bunkers, you are kidnappers, you are killers, you are this. Can this crowd here be bunkers? No! Can this crowd be bunkers?
We all know the issues that led to the invitations of the military men in this community. First and foremost, there is total breakdowns of law and order in this community. And secondly, this total breakdown of law and order is as a result of illegal activities that have been going on in this environment. So therefore, when opinion, suggested and powerful opinions comes into being to say we must do this to move this community forward, there's always resistance. So that led to where we are today.
A representative of the traditional ruler believes the peace and unity of the community remains top priority.
It's the sustained peace that we've been able to enforce in Ugborodo today. I use the word enforce very cautiously because the peace was enforced through a combined effort of the Army, Navy, police, and the SSS. So it's an enforced peace. So we hope and believe that this will be sustained.
The argument on who should oversee the affairs of Ugborodo community has dragged on for years now. And as it is evident that a kingdom divided against itself will not stand, we can only hope a lasting solution is proffered for this community.
Now, the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Ibe Kachuku, has given the assurance that the federal government is working hard to address long queues at fuel stations. Dr. Kachuku says the logistics and policy issues, which usually constitute a major challenge to the development of petroleum sectors in countries, will be seriously looked into to ensure adequate supply of petroleum products across the country.
I will be instructing NNPC whatever it takes to ensure that I do not bring visitors here next week that will experience fuel queue. They will have to, quite frankly, do whatever it takes to get this eliminated in Abuja. So that will be the directive I'll be sending to NNPC and let them work night and day and put a lot more effort in trying to do that. I can tell you that behind the scenes, a lot of meetings are taking place because the fuel queue issue is both a logistics and a policy issue. We will need to address the fundamental policy issues to enable it to go away, especially in an area where the pricing is showing the differential between the landed price and the sale price. So we need to work backwards to see what we need to do to continue to sell at 145. The president obviously is very committed in keeping the price of fuel at the price where it is because he realizes and sympathizes with the sufferings of Nigerians.
Minister of State for Petroleum Resources, Dr. Ibe Kachuku. The lingering scarcity of petrol across the country has continued to force many fuel stations in Kaduna State to ration the product, thereby causing longer than usual queues of vehicles at the retail stations. A record of daily supply of petrol to the state, obtained from the Department of Petroleum Resources, shows that the supply of the product to retail outlets has been fluctuating since the beginning of the year. And away from the fuel crisis, commuters plying the Calabar-Odukwane and Calabar-Biase Federal Highway are commending the federal government for intervening on the roads, which were once death traps. On different occasions last year, Channels Television had extensively reported the plight of commuters plying those routes shortly before it caved in. Well, the road construction project awarded to Sematech Nigeria Limited by the federal government is now certified open to road users for both economic and commercial purposes.
Cross River State in south-south Nigeria, like some other states, has had its fair share of poor road networks, subjecting road users to hardship almost on a daily basis. In 2017, many federal roads in the state suffered serious decay and were declared impossible by the residents. On different occasions, the roads caved in and got worse after heavy downpour.
This road is a major road. It's the only road, as it were, that links Cross River, both south and north. And it's very, very clear that this thin layer that is remaining will soon collapse. If you look deep, you really see that the water, or the force that it contains, has eaten so deep that any time from now, if something is not gently done, then the whole thing will collapse. And when that happens, then there will be no road at all linking this state, and that will be so unfortunate.
The Calabar-Odukwane and the Calabar-Biase roads got the attention of the federal government after several pleas.
We came in here 3-4 months ago to intervene. At the peak of the rain, we came in here to intervene, and we have restored back the road. Every day we have worked assiduously to restore back the road. The Federal Ministry of Works is a very serious-minded ministry. You can't move to the next stage of your work if they don't test the first stage, ascertain that the quality is okay before you move. So for us to come to this point, we have moved from ground to this stage. At every stage, the quality assurance and quality control has been superb.
For residents and road users, the development is welcome, but they hope the quality of the project is maintained.
Initially, this place was not, it was a death trap. This place was a death trap, and a lot of people have died here. So the rehabilitation is very fine for the federal government to put up this project.
Now that the federal government have come to take care of the road, you can see with the both sides, the road is very okay, and we expect that they do better than this.
The provision of good roads remains a necessity, especially now. What the people want, however, is a replication of what has been done in Cross River State in other areas with similar challenges across the country.